Now, what's the third tick box? The third tick box is in terms of conversation. What is this idea of conversation? Conversation means that each of you needs to be committed to both speaking and to listening. Now, what is this not? This is not about if there's a situation of high conflict, which obviously can, if this is a high conflict relationship, that can certainly mean that it's become more difficult for you to both speak to one another or in front of one another and listen to one another. But your lawyer can kind of help you overcome that. And as well, it's even possible for some couples where there is a history of abuse, sometimes that this CP can still work for such couples because the process can be customized in certain ways to ensure that there are still conversations, that both people get an opportunity to both speak and listen to one another. Okay, so we said that conversation, this third aspect of the test, is about making sure that each of you speaks and listens to one another. So why is that important? The reason why this is important is because in CP there's a strong emphasis that both of you get an opportunity to lay out what your ultimate interests, goals, hopes, and dreams and fears are in connection with the divorce. And it's important that both of you, each of you needs to actually lay those things out, but each of you also needs to hear and understand what the spouse you're separating from has to say on that same subject. That both of you needs to feel heard and understood about that, and this is really key in terms of how it works. This is not about you agreeing with one another, but there is a strong expectation for both of you to both speak and to very actively listen to one another. And if you are both of you are prepared to commit to conversation, that each of you is committed to speaking up about these things, but in terms of speaking up about your what it is that you're looking for in divorce, even in situations where it's in front of the spouse you're separating from, which is going to be part of CP, and also to listening when your spouse talks about those things. Then you've got that third tick box. So to recap, the three things that both of you need to be committed to, and if you are committed to, CP can work very well, and I would recommend you look into it further. It's again, it's about honesty in terms of the finances. It's about taking ownership of the key judgment calls, which will ultimately be yours rather than the lawyers or other professionals. And it's also about a commitment to conversation, that each of you needs to be committed to both speaking to what's truly important to you about this process, and also to listening. And if both of you can be committed to all three of those ingredients, then it's CP will probably work very well for you. And I would encourage you to investigate further this process that can be a very helpful process for you and your family going through this difficult time.